psychotropic medications that will at least temporarily make life bearable. Maybe they see a therapist or a social worker and then they're back out on the streets. Not only is that unconscionable and immoral, it's an incredibly expensive way to fail one another. We're losing out not just on that person's earning potential over their lifetime, the things that they'll create, that poem that they're going to write, that punk rock band that they're going to start, that family that they're going to raise, that job they're going to work, those taxes they're going to pay. But as they get closer to a premature death, they have no insurance and no way to pay for their hospital care at the emergency room, you and I will pick up that bill together in higher premiums and higher taxes. That's why we must come together as a country, not as a party, transcend the differences and the divides of geography and party and any other difference that doesn't matter at this defining moment of truth, and guarantee every single American high-quality health care without exception. And that means primary health care, that means mental health care, and that means every single woman makes her own decisions about her own mind. For those who, in the wake of an administration that doesn't believe in the facts, doesn't deal in the truth, rejects the science that is available to us, is beyond the shadow of a doubt. For those of you who were marching for science 300 years after the Enlightenment, we salute you. We shouldn't have to do it in this country, but we're grateful that you did. It was a reminder that those scientists have concluded that not only is climate change real, not only is it caused by our own excesses and inaction, but that it is harming us, taking the lives of our fellow Americans and our fellow human beings all over the world right now as we stand together here in New Hampshire, in Texas, in Houston. 58 inches of rain fell from the sky in 2017. It's the landfall record in North America for as long as we've been keeping records in North America. And it was the third 500-year flood in just the last 5 years in Southeast Texas. People who had not rebuilt their homes from the last flood were flooded yet again. Lives lost in the process. The scientists say that climate change will produce more of those floods. They'll be more devastating and profound, and they will be yet more frequent than they have already been. It's the same message that they have for the farmers in West Texas and in the Panhandle. Those droughts from which they've just emerged, those droughts will become more severe. They will undermine our ability to grow our own food, our own fiber, our ability to feed and clothe ourselves, to feed and clothe so much of the rest of the world. The civil war in Syria, the wildfires in California, we literally are making it happen. And unless we act in the 12 years, which the scientists also agree, within which we still have time, there will be a hell visited upon our kids and grandkids and the generations that follow that we can only imagine. If you were worried about 400,000 apprehensions at our southern border with Mexico last year, wait until some of the countries in the Western Hemisphere are no longer inhabitable by human beings. The refugee crisis then, here and all over the world, is beyond our imagination right now. But we still have time to act. And by the time Ulysses is my age in 2050, I want him to look back on us, all of us right here at this moment, this country at this defining, pivotal moment of truth, and be proud of what we chose to do together. And that we didn't do it by half measure, and we didn't do it by half of us. It was rural and urban, Republican and Democrat, coming together to face the singular existential challenge of climate change before it was too late. Freeing ourselves from a dependence on fossil fuels, investing in those communities that have disproportionately borne the brunt of climate change thus far, making sure that we don't disengage it from our larger economy, and that the gains are shared with everyone and not just concentrated in the hands of a few. If we put our minds to it, this country, put to the test, can meet that challenge and can reassert its global leadership to ensure that the nations of the world are convened around this shared, otherwise intractable problem. I know we can do it. This country, when the call has come in the past, has always answered it. This is our moment of truth right now. You with me on this one? Last week, I was in Pennsylvania earlier today. Let's hear it for the one gentleman from Pennsylvania. Two. And all day as we drove the 8-hour drive from Penn State to here, we were calling into New Hampshire. Calling into my good friend, Annie Custer, with whom I sat on the House Veterans Affairs Committee for 6 years. Calling your amazing senators, calling your state reps, calling folks from all over the state to find out what's going on here. So proud of your response to the crisis that you have seen endured more than any other state in the nation of opioid abuse and overuse and death. The fact that in the face of losing 70,000 of our fellow Americans to drug overdose deaths, you as a state and as a people have decided this will not be a problem of criminal justice. This will be an opportunity for public health. We're going to care for and show compassion to those who are struggling. And we're going to acknowledge an incredibly warped system of justice in this country. When folks like those at Purdue Pharma can sell these addictive opioids to prescribers, when 9 out of 10, or maybe the number is 4 out of 5, but the vast majority of those who are addicted to opioids today began with a legal prescription. And those executives understood the addictive properties of what they sold, but did not share that with the public. And not a single one of them has done a single day in jail. And yet, we have the largest prison population on the face of the planet, disproportionately comprised of people of color, far too many there for possession of a substance that is legal in most states of this country, marijuana. And though Americans of all races and ethnicities use marijuana at the same rate, only some are more likely than others to be arrested, to serve time, to upon release be forced to check a box so that they're unlikely to get that job because of that past conviction, ineligible for student loans and scholarships to attend this university and better themselves. We need real criminal justice reform. We need to end the prohibition on marijuana. Expunge the arrest records for everyone arrested of possession for something that's legal in so many other places. And make sure that we have a full prosecution and accountability for those who are responsible for the deaths of tens of thousands of Americans in this country.